Friends, welcome to this edition of the Influencer Talks. Today on the show, we have an international celebrity and a business tycoon from Kenya, East Africa. She is an Indian and has made her fellow Indians and the country proud. She is a source of inspiration not only for the women, but for every person across the globe who has an aspiration and aims to become a successful businessman. Kalpa Padia migrated to a small town of Kenya called Nyeri after her marriage in 1995 from Bengaluru. She started her own company in 2001 to make cheese and dairy products, and now has one of the most coveted brands in Kenya and East Africa called Raka Cheese as its managing director. Let's talk to her about her journey to success, which by no way a mean achievement. It requires courage, heart, and leadership to accomplish this. Welcome to the show, Kalpa Padia, and we welcome you. It's a pleasure for us to have you on the show.
Thank you, Atulji. It's really a pleasure to be here too, and hope this talk is going to help people.
Absolutely. So, as we know that you are a very, very successful businesswoman in Kenya, your brand is a household name. So, we were just curious to know that how it all started. So, let me start it from the beginning. You are from Bengaluru, right?
Yes.
And you had your education. So can you tell us something about your initial days in Bengaluru, your education, your family?
Okay, I come from a Gujarati family, family of in textiles. Mm-hmm. My father was actually an engineer, but a mechanical engineer, but he got into how it is in Gujarati families that you end up going into the family business itself.
Absolutely.
So yes, we've been in Bangalore. My father is also born in Bangalore itself. So it's been a long time. I think my great grandfather came from Rajkot.
Right.
Now was me more than 125 years ago, I think so. So coming from a humble family, I have a younger brother, mother, father. We lived in a joint family kind of thing with my great grandparents and aunt and uncle.
Right.
Studied in Bangalore, studied in a convent school, and then went to studied. I started doing BCom. I started doing I learned commerce, and then my interest was more. I was into art. I was more of an artist kind of a thing. I loved painting. So I did 2 years of commerce, and then decided, no, I want to change my line to arts. So my mom was like, "Are you sure?" I said yes. So joined Chitrakala Parishad in Bangalore. It's an art college. So I get my, like I say, we say O levels, like standard 12. Did it again. So it's like I did it twice. So because I did 2 years of commerce, and then I did 2 years of arts, and then when I was studying, I realized I had more interest in the history of art. So then changed my line to art history. So I did my bachelor's in art history, and then my professor was like, "Kalpa, do your master's too." And in a Gujarati family, doing masters is like something probably at that time. Not something everybody would want to do it. They would say, 23 years old, get her married, 21 years, get her married. That's what it is in an Indian family kind of a thing. Right. But no, then I told my parents, I want to you look for a boy, I will finish my studies. So that's how I ended up.
So it was an arranged family? It was an arranged marriage?
Yes, 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 very much an arranged marriage.
All right.
So everybody would wonder how Kenya and how Bangalore kind of a thing.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
did the arrange? Everybody says, Kalpa, you come from a Jain family. He's a Brahmkshatriya. Was it really an arranged marriage? I said, yes, it was an arranged marriage. He came looking for me all the way from Kenya.
Oh, wow. All right.
So finished while I was doing my masters, I was working with the jewelers, Ganjam Nagappa and Sons.
All
I was
right.
working on a project with them as a jewelry designer, and we were like working on a project with them to go to all the remote places, get broken pieces of jewelry and try to bring it back. So that is what I used to do. I enjoy doing jewelry designing.
All right.
So I love that. So along with my masters, I was doing that too.
All right.
And then I got an offer from one of the others one. So I told my mom, I want to leave my studies and go and do this. He says, no, you fought with me to do your master's. So you're not leaving your master's in between to go get a job.
Right.
So at that time, I can say 94.
Okay.
To get a salary of 10,000 was a lot. That was a lot of money at that time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I was like, no, mom. He says, no, you fought with us. So you bet. I have fought with the family to make sure that you are studying and not getting married. Well, I finished my studies in '95. I finished my master's, and I'd applied for a course to do on jewelry course, jewelry stones, and then that's where I met Rajesh, and his family had come down looking for it.
Okay.
And it so happened, it was a funny way, the way we met also was, my friend brother was in Kenya, and she was looking out for a boy for me. And so when she said, Kalpa, there's this boy, there's this boy from Nairobi, 5 brothers, 1 sister. I was like, where are you putting me in such a huge family? I'm looking for a nuclear family kind of a thing. So my parents, I told my parents, I said, Parul has been really looking for a boy for me. Please go and see this family.
Okay.
And so my parents went to see him, and before they could decide, they said, I'm coming to see the girl.
All right.
And so that's how it happened. We met at night. And I think, it was a very funny thing. We ended up speaking for 2 hours.
All right.
Oh. And what I liked most, what I liked most about him was, he said, you're Kenya. I said, what is Kenya? You've studied African art, but you never know what Kenya is or what Africa is or where it, I mean, you knew where it was, but what it was, I did not know.
Right.
Because you've never taken interest in an African country kind of thing, going to Kenya or something, or never heard of it. So we ended up talking for 2 hours, and then he was like, if everything goes well, Kalpa, I would like to go for lunch tomorrow. Okay. I said, TK. 8 o'clock in the morning, next day I get a call that we're going out for lunch.
All right.
So it was ended up like a 5-hour lunch. It went on, and then we were talking, and then he proposes to me. He says, Kalpa, I would love to grow old next to you. So that's the way it all happened.
Wow.
Jatmani Patbia.
Wow.
Met him on 23rd of July, got engaged on 30th of July, got married on 18th of August. Literally Jatmani.
Wow, excellent.
It was literally. So yes, and then I hadn't got my passport ready yet. I mean, so I had applied for my passport, but it wasn't done. And surprisingly, it was his connections. Through his connections, I got my passport fatafat.
All right.
And came to Kenya September 10th, 1995.
Okay.
So that's 25 years in this country.
So you have been from a business family, so business, of course, ran through your bloods. But at the same time, when you reached a small town of Kenya, Nairobi, so how was it there? It must have been a total change for you.
Total, completely. So coming from a city to going to a small town, not even Nairobi. So we haven't gone to Nyeri.
Yeah.
Nyeri is what I can say, Ooty, Kodaikanal, that kind of a place.
I have been to Nyeri. I have been to Nairi.
Okay.
I was there from
Right.
13 to 15. I was in Kenya, but that was another 20 years. So I could imagine
Yes.
what it was 20 years back.
You're right. So
Yeah.
very small. I mean, it was a joint family. Sabhi
All
were all
right.
staying together.
Right.
So initially, what I did, I started teaching the children dance. I started teaching the children painting. Then I started teaching ladies painting. So kept myself busy.
Busy. All right.
And then 95, same year, December, the company where that the family business is called Highlands Mineral Water. That was the family business.
Right.
They did not have an accountant. They had an attachee who was doing accounts. The accountant had left.
All right.
So they were like, Kaupa, come and help. I was good in maths. I've always been good in maths and I loved maths.
All right.
So Kaupa, come and help. So we literally, both of us sat literally to say, to midnight light candle. We did going through all old books and seeing how the accounts were done. That's how I started doing. So I joined the family business. I mean, just helping them out to finish the accounts and do everything like that.
Right.
And so that's how I got into the business part of it. And in between, I decided, okay, let me go and teach art in a school. And so I went to one of the schools over there. I was teaching a part-time thing. Then again, I was still an Indian. I still had the Indian passport. So difficult to work without a permit over there. So it was just like small-time helping. And then after a few years, decided, you know what? It's high time I got my passport, the Kenyan
passport.
citizenship.
Right.
Kenyan citizen. So I became a Kenyan citizen. So once you're a Kenyan citizen, it's easier to work. So there are no hassles, no problems or anything like that.
Absolutely.
In this time, Rajesh kept on talking about cheese. And coming from India, cheese के बारे में तभी कुछ बात नहीं थी. I'm talking about 95. Right. Amul cheese tha, that what we grew up with, and little bit of thoda, I think cottage cheese used to get or something.
Yeah.
85, I think my aunt went to America and she came back with a lot of these different types of cheese.
Right.
So that's the first time I've got to understand what is cheese.
What is cheese?
Very simple, something simple. Paneer tha, cottage cheese tha. That's the only thing what we knew in India. And Amul cheese, that is a processed cheese.
Right. Right.
So that's what we grew up. So he kept on talking about, I had a cheese factory, and he was so passionate about this one.
Right.
And then, say 2001, in 88, 89, he had a cheese factory. Rajesh he was running a cheese factory.
All right.
And 91, the Gulf War hit them. So they closed the cheese factory and he joined the family business, that is Highlands. But he was more of a he was a salesman. You know, you could sell sand to a shake. Absolutely. Or ice to an ice cream. And he was that kind of a person. Right. And I was a very silent person. I wouldn't talk a lot. So he did all the talking. I never had to do any talking as such.
All right.
So that's how it was. And then I think 91 Gulf War hit them and they had to close, and then he joined the business. And then I think 2001 May, the cheesemaker came back.
All right.
He came back and told Rajesh, he said, you know what, Rajesh, I've worked with so many people, but I've never enjoyed working with anybody. You start the cheese business again.
Sorry to interrupt. I just have one question.
No problem.
You have, I understand you have two sons, right?
Yes.
So when you decided, they were already there, both the sons, in 2001?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
They were there. So the first one's born in 99 and the second one born in 2000.
All right. Okay.
So I lost my first child in 97. She had a cord around her neck. And so that's a different story.
Right.
Went through all that. So yes, now my son, one is 20, is going to be 22. The other one is 20.
Wow.
So they become big boys now.
Yeah. But initially doing business along with taking care of the sons and the family. So
because it was a family business, I could take my children to work.
Okay. Okay.
When they were small babies, right. Because 99 also I was working, and 2000 also I was working with the family. That is with Highlands ke saath.
Right, right.
So, I used to take my children with their cots, with their rocking, everything, take
Yeah.
it to work and work along with them. It was nice
Absolutely.
because I think all the ladies from the families also were working in the
Yeah,
business.
yeah,
So
yeah.
the children were taken care of, and mine being the youngest, they were the most loved by everybody, I can say.
Right.
So that's how it started.
Okay, ease of doing business in Kenya at that point in time, I'm sure it must have been a difficult thing to, have a startup and then take it forward. So what were the issues you faced initially to launch the company?
So like I told you, initially it was more of Rajesh handling the whole business.
All right.
I was there, mate. I was there. I was handling the finance part of it, and I was handling the sales and marketing part of it. जो मुझे सीखा है. I mean, I've
Right.
learned with time, and I'm
Yeah.
learning also till today. But Rajesh was the one who, because he was handling Highlands part of it, he knew a lot of business.
Right.
So I think I've learned a lot about business through him.
Okay.
Though I come from a business family, my dad because didn't take so much interest when you were young. Ki
Right,
dad ke
right.
family business may you help or something.
Right.
Dad
right.
was doing it himself.
Mhm.
So I've learned a lot from him.
Yeah.
And so initially it was started off as a hobby. So
Okay.
Rajesh was like, "Chalo, let's start a cheese business." I said, "Okay."
Mhm.
So when the cheesemaker came, so Rajesh Rath ko night he asked me, "Kalpa, what do you think?" I said, "You know what? I don't know anything about cheese, but
Mhm.
you've been so passionate about cheese, so why not?" So why not say start hua sab kuch. So
Okay.
we made our own cheese vat, we have made our own cheese press,
Right.
सब कुछ खुद बनाया, and then inside Highlands we were given a corner. Okay, start off.
Okay.
So we were buying about 200 liters of milk every day. So
Okay.
200 liters is 20 kilos. It was not more. That's
All
20
right.
kilos. So we were buying in cash.
Okay.
So we were so involved in Highlands that we didn't
Mhm.
give much attention to the cheese business.
Right.
So
Right.
it came to a point that at one point I had 7 tons of cheese. And I said, okay, where am I going to sell this 7 tons of cheese? And who am I going to sell this 7 tons of cheese?
But what was
But
this
still,
as a market? What was the condition for the cheese consumption for the local Kenyans or Indians, whoever were your target?
so 95 May, from what I gather, there was not much of people did not know what cheese was, or very few people knew. जैसे बोलते कि the गोरे लोग, the
Cheese.
whites knew more about the cheese.
Right. Right.
Indians knew more about paneer, and probably people who have traveled to UK or perhaps who've traveled outside knew what cheese was. But the local people didn't know much about cheese.
Okay. Okay.
2005, I have seen a change because people have started traveling, people have started going out, trying out different palettes.
Right.
So there was a lot of education which was needed
Right.
for the local people to understand.
Okay.
And then it's being in a food industry, other than tasting, there was no other kind of education to give.
Okay.
I could give them out recipes and do anything, but I wanted them to taste it to understand
Absolutely.
what they are trying or what they are eating.
Exactly.
So being in a food industry, I feel the best way to get to the consumer is by tasting. And then दूसरा क्या था, we had made it as suitable for vegetarians. Actual
Okay.
cheese जो
Okay.
होता है,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
it's a rennet from the
Right.
calf's stomach,
Absolutely.
right? But so we came up with vegetarian cheese.
All right.
So a lot of Indians who could not eat cheese now said, now we've got something, okay, we can eat this cheese.
Right. Right.
So we had to make sure that even this rennet, what is the cultures, what we are getting is still again not anything connected to the animal anyway.
At that point in time, what kind of competition you had in market?
Not much.
Not much.
Not much. There were very few cheese players at that time.
All right.
I can say just about 3 or 4 companies were making cheese at that time.
And that too
not
for
many cheese players.
For the local consumption itself.
Yes, local. And then, so like we have a lot of the expatriates over here.
Right.
So I think one of the companies was dealing mainly with those expatriates, and rest of them were the simple cheddar cheese, what they were making for the local consumption. What few people understood what cheese was all about.
All right.
Yeah, so that's how it happened. So we started off with 200 liters.
Okay.
Then 2003, InScore, that is Pizza Inn, this one came into Kenya.
Right.
And one of our salesmen went and talked to them and said, okay, we need 500 kilos a week. I said, huh? Okay. Even if I made because the cheese vat jo tha was just about 450 liters. That is 45 kilos a day.
Okay.
That is the size of the cheese vat what we had. So I said,
Right.
even if I made every day, I am not being able to make the 500 kilos.
Absolutely, yeah.
So we found a local company who could make us a bigger cheese vat. So we got a cheese vat for 1300 liters. And then the growth has happened and it hasn't stopped from there. 200 liters today capacity is 10,000 liters per day.
Wow, that is amazing.
I can do up to a ton a day of cheese.
Okay, that's excellent.
So we started with only five types. One was mozzarella, one was cheddar, one was a pizza cheese, which now Rajesh and the cheesemaker had created it. They had made it.
Right.
So a lot of Indians like cheddar and a mozzarella on their pizza. So in logon ne socha ki let's join both of them together and make a cheese.
All right.
So they came up with pizza cheese. Then we did paneer. And then we made blue cheese. So we called it neri blue. We've got the Danish blue, which is very common and very popular.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then he says, no, I come from neri. I don't want my blue to be connected in any way, saying it is a Danish blue or anything. Then I want it to be neri blue. So it was like more of called it neri blue. So these were the 5 products we started off.
Okay.
Labels up pehle ko dekho, it was just like one spot, one color label, nothing different, nothing super or anything. But he wanted the sun, the rising sun to show up to this one.
Okay.
Then name naam kya rakhe? Raka.
Right.
Raka, how did that name come? Rajesh and Kalpa. That's how the name came about.
Okay. Okay. Great.
Yeah. Right. So that's how the name came. He says, Kalpa, I want something very different. So Raka. So we had Raka, and that became a brand.
Right.
So it's been now this is my 21st year now.
Wonderful. So tell me one thing. Now with the, what kind of competition you have now in Kenya, and are you also exporting it to other countries?
Yes, we do export.
Okay.
Yes, we do export. We export to Uganda, we export to Rwanda, Juba, regional countries is what we are exporting. Right. People in India have been asking me, Kalpa, send it to India. But I said, India has too many regulations. Sending it from here to there, it becomes costly. Also looking at the cost. But yes, competition, yes, there are many companies which have come up. Right. And a lot of people in the dairy sector have found cheese making easier. So they started making like easy cheese, like cheddar, mozzarella, paneer. There's like that is a mozzarella and paneer is like I make today, I sell tomorrow. I don't need to mature it.
Oh, right.
Right, because it's a cooked cheese.
Okay.
Dusre sab cheese, I need different cheese have different maturing periods. Like say cheddar is about 6 weeks or 8 weeks. Okay. Gouda is again 8 weeks. Pizza is 6 weeks.
All right.
Blue cheese is 12 weeks. I say. So competition, there are quite a lot more people into cheese making here.
All right. So what is the kind of market share your brand has currently in Kenya?
We had 19% of market share.
Oh, that's a huge one. Yeah.
Yes. Good. And then now with the new, I haven't done the current. I have not got to understand what market share we are. But sales, when I see the sales, I feel we do still have our market share in the country. And it's not just Nairobi; it's the whole country.
It's the whole.
So we are distributing to the whole country, total country. It's
right.
not like India. Okay, you do a one state and the other one. This is like the whole country now.
Right. So tell me, Kalpa, now we all know you just said that it's from 200 liters of milk a day processing. Now it is 10,000 liters a day. So I'm sure it must not have been that smooth, right? So,
No, it hasn't been.
so what are the ups and
So,
downs, the struggle?
ups and downs. I said with increase of business, I think you do get all sorts of issues coming in. So
Yeah,
sometimes we wonder कि छोटे थे अच्छा था, उससे ज़्यादा नहीं करना था. I just
right.
and then with time, I think we had increase of new line, increase of new products,
Right.
different type of products. Again, now we're asking what the consumer want. Depending on what consumer are asking, based on that is what we have tried to increase our the number of types of cheese.
Right.
So it's not like if you see more so Apna cheese is more of a catering kind of a cheese, not specialty kind of cheese. But we do now have a few specialty cheese. Like my son, my elder one, he's studied culinary arts, so he's
Oh, okay.
joined the business.
All right.
He's helping me out to do more of an R&D kind of a chef and trying to coming out with different types of cheese.
All right.
There was another thing we had done was goat cheese.
Okay.
In 2007, there was this goats, what in Kenya mein kya aata, about the bifurcation of land jo hota hai.
Right.
When with too many number of children, the land gets bifurcated and then land becomes smaller and it's very difficult for somebody to have cows.
Right.
So they went into having goats. So now
Okay.
GTZ from Germany were trying to help this group
Okay.
of people
Yeah.
to say they were bringing goats from them and crossbreeding and trying to come up with this one.
Okay.
Then Rajesh was like, okay, you're doing everything. What about the end product? Have you thought about the market? Even like a goat, 1 या 2 liters से ज़्यादा नहीं होता. Some goats are just about half a liter.
Right. Right.
So he said, you are developing all this.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the family will use half a liter for their family. Then what? So ऐसे we started the goat cheese. Goat cheese chalu kiya. So, but goat cheese as such is a very niche market. Not everybody understand goat cheese. In India, if I talk to somebody, I say, but so there's again a way of doing with the goat. They say if you keep the stud away from the dough, the smell doesn't come when they are milking the dough. So that's how we ended up. So we started with 20 liters. We were collecting. We started making feta cheese. We started making cream cheese. But the goat milk price was double than the cow milk price. So your cost of production and on a higher side.
Okay.
And so people who understood goat milk and goat cheese were buying, but people who did not understand goat milk or goat cheese, they were like, I'm getting another company making feta from cow cheese and now you're giving me ye 200 ka hai aur ye 400 ka hai. I prefer going for 200.
Absolutely.
So that's what happened. So I think in 2010, I had to we had to stop the goat cheese product because I had so much of cheese and I was not selling it. And from 220 liters came to a point we were doing 250 liters per day. So but then still we had a few customers, okay, I want goat cheese. So I said, sure, we'll get little bit of goat milk and we'll do just enough for the market. So then, like I said, my son has come up with different kinds of cheese. He's come up with cheese and wine. He's come up with goat cheese with ash. So he's come up with a little bit of different type of, not an every experimental and every time. If you see the cheese market, there are 3,000 varieties of cheese. So we are just doing about 13 only from the 3,000 varieties of cheese. Yeah.
So I understand, unfortunately, you lost your husband, Rajesh, in 2010. So,
Indeed.
how could you manage? What did you do to manage the business single-handedly after
Okay,
that?
so so in 2005 we had moved to Nairobi as a
All right.
family because of the
Okay.
family business wanted to start a depot and they
Right.
wanted a family to handle it. So my children were very young then.
Yeah.
So Rajesh said, "Chalo, we moved to Nairobi." So we moved to Nairobi,
Hmm.
and 2006 he went back to Neri. So it was to happen that he used to come on weekends. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, he used to be with us. Monday, he would
Okay.
go back to work and come back on a Friday.
All right.
So he was handling Highlands also and then handling Raka also
All
together at
right.
that time
Yeah.
because we were still inside Highlands. Um, so I think just life went on that way. We moved on. I was busy with handling the depot over here. I was
Yeah.
handling both the businesses, Highlands also and Raka together.
All
We
right.
were doing Raka sales from here, Highland sales from here. Children chote the, so like
Absolutely.
life went on as normal. And then 2010, February 18th, this is what happened.
Yeah.
Um,
G.
and the best part of Rajesh was he used to take me around everywhere,
Okay.
be it friends, be it
Hmm.
business, be it anywhere. It
Right.
was, I think it was something not a norm over here to have the wives going with you.
Right.
So his friends, some of his friends also find it odd. Okay, Rajesh is bringing his wife wherever he goes. So
Absolutely.
ऐसा situation था, but he took me everywhere. So though I was in the back, I still knew who we were meeting and
All
where we
right.
were going and what the talking, because he did all the talking. मैं तो चुपचाप आराम से पीछे से just listening to what was happening.
Right. Right.
So that was one thing. I think they say when somebody is going to go early, they know, or kya, I don't know. They make sure that
Things.
they teach you
Yeah.
and they make sure that you've enjoyed your life with them.
Right.
So 14 and a half years of my life with him were fantastic. He made sure I learned and everything, I did everything, and सब कुछ साथ में ही था.
Right.
There was nothing that was hidden or anything. I did not know what was happening.
Right.
So yeah, so this happened. I was in Nairobi. He was in Nyeri when this happened.
Yeah.
We were supposed to go the very next day because the children had this scout thing, and it was a midterm, and we had to go. And then last I spoke to him was 2:30, 4:30, so he was gone.
Oh. Oh.
It was a big shock. It was a
Yeah.
big this one. I was screaming and shouting, and I really didn't know what to do.
Right.
Anyway, we all went to Nyeri.
Yeah.
Sab kuch hua, and like I told, the 19th, here on the 20th, you have to pay your VAT, you have to do your VAT returns by the 20th of every month.
All right.
So next day was 19th.
Right.
So I had to go to work to do the VAT returns because like the 20th was a Saturday and I had to do it on a Friday.
Right.
So though it was like a routine जैसा हो गया कि हाँ,
All right.
कि and like I think overnight also I spoke to my auditor. I said change करना है, the company, this because it's a limited company.
Right.
From 2 directors to can I make it to 1 director or more? I said auditor बोलता हाँ हो सकता है. I said ठीक है कर दो.
Right.
But I did not want any other intervention from anybody else. Okay, just do it. So like I said, life went on. Did not have time much to grieve. But the problem was I could not move back to Neri because the children were in school here.
All right. Right.
And so I had to find somebody who could handle the business for me when I'm in Nairobi. I used to come to Neri once a week, come in the morning, go in the evening. But so initially I asked my sister-in-law, can you come and sit and just overlook. Management ke hisab se it is still working, but just overlook. At least they have that somebody is there to look, and we are there. She came for a few months, and he says, she was very close to Rajesh. She says, Kalpa, I can't work. I see Rajesh everywhere. I said, ठीक है, चलो, कोई ना. And then ऐसे बात होती that way I met one of Rajesh's friend, and we were talking, and I said, I don't know how I'm going to manage. So he said, let me come and help you manage it. I said, that's the best thing you've told me to do.
Right.
So it was Rajesh's friend who came.
Okay.
2 साल काम किया उन लोगों ने, उन्होंने, and he was elder to me. And I was elder to Rajesh too. So, kabhi kabar, it's sometimes very difficult for somebody to take instructions from a woman.
Right.
In a business, especially. It's very difficult to have instructions from a woman.
Yeah.
So, that's what happened. And then I had to let him go.
Okay.
Well, he started his own cheese bag business again. Yeah. So
okay.
That's a different story. So, and best part has been the workers. Some of them have been there from inception. They have been like my backbone, and so they have the ones who helped me.
Right.
So
right.
It has been like a lot of trust with them, and I've left the whole management part onto them.
Right.
Comes to a point when they are not able to handle is when they call Kalpa. Otherwise, they manage everything to their level.
Yeah.
So that has been a wonderful thing one way. Even though businesses, you can understand ups and downs, and then this COVID has happened. So you can imagine what has happened.
Right.
Made you change your thinking, change your, how different can we do?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Kalpa, what are your plans in mid-term or a short term to expand your business or?
So, okay, we have done a little bit of changes because the COVID made us think out of the box and decide, okay, what different can you think? So what we have come up is a product called a whey drink. It's not whey powder, it's a liquid whey. So it's a one of its kind in this country. Kisi ne nahi banaya. Yeah, it's called whey. We've called it Way to Go. It's like Way to Go. So when you make cheese, you get 90% is whey, 10% is cheese. So from 10 liters, you get 1 kilo of cheese. So the 9 liters is whey.
All right.
So I had 2007, we had an expert who came down from Netherlands.
All right.
So he says, Kalpa, you're wasting the main product. Cheese is the byproduct.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. So that is something what we have done. So it's a way. And then we are trying to think other than cheese, what else can we do?
Right.
So we are thinking of different things that Kabhi Kabhar says, this COVID has one way been a good thing for us because we had all children staying at home, and aajkal ke bacche, they don't want dal roti, they want pizza and pastas. So that way it was a good time for us. Yeah.
Right.
So long run, I can say we are trying to diversify into different things. I don't want to disclose it now till I've come out with something.
Absolutely.
But yes, the Way to Go is ready. It's already in the market. It's slowly people are understanding what it is.
All right.
And it's doing good. You can check out on the website, different website it is. It's called A Way to Go.
So it will not be wrong to say you the cheese queen in East Africa, right?
Yes, but I think there are other two companies who are run by women too also over here.
All right.
Cheese business, yes.
Okay. But
So
you also...
Probably, yeah.
You introduced two products which I'm very curious to know about. One is Shrikhand and also Paneer. These are two Indian tastes, right? It's only for Indians or locals also enjoy it?
Locals also love it, especially Palak Paneer, so they love it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Paneer has been from the very initial. It is not something we introduced Naya. It has been there from inception. We've had Paneer.
Right.
So yes, Indians love the Paneer, but the locals also love their Paneer.
All right.
So we started teaching them how they could use Paneer in their local food. Jaise ki dairy mein banaya, we tell them put Paneer. Paneer is very bland. It will absorb any flavor you put it in.
Right.
So we taught them, and I think, like I said, people have started traveling, and now if you go to see an Indian restaurant, you will find more of local people there than the Indians over there.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
Srikhand, we had started uh, because that also was again Rajesh's input. He want his bhabhi made amazing Srikhand, so he was
Okay.
like, "Papa, let's do Srikhand." I said,
Right.
"Okay, try karte," but we
Uh-huh.
don't want to sell it to the Indians because Indians they will know how to make. We
Absolutely.
wanted to do it go to the local people to do it. But it
Absolutely.
hasn't picked up so much because we didn't put any preservatives in Srikhand. So the shelf life would be very little, and
Mhm.
we didn't want to put it on the shelves and saying कि 5 दिन में खट्टा हो गया, so we won't. So we
Right.
stopped Srikhand.
Okay.
Srikhand we make only when somebody orders, then I would make it myself and give it to them,
All right.
not commercially.
Absolutely. All right. All
Yeah.
right. Kalpat, I would like to thank you for your time. So
You're
much we have
welcome.
learned about you and your struggle to reach to this stage in your business. And I wish all the best for the future for you,
Thank
for
you.
your kids who would, I'm sure, will be involved with the family business now or a later stage.
वो तो पता नहीं. My younger one is studying to be a vet. So
Oh, okay.
indirectly he is involved. He would be
Right,
involved.
right.
Older son is a chef. So food industry may hey
Yeah,
that
right,
way.
right, right. Great. Thank you. Thank you for your time and
You're
all the
welcome.
best.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Apo.